Honiton Martinson once said, "Feelings are much like waves. We can't stop them from coming, but we can choose which ones to surf." Good day, beautiful soul. Matt here. Welcome to another session on Intention Inspired. We are going on the journey of the art of self-discovery. It's an 8-segment journey created by the marvelous Marva Midkiff over in the art room, and we are jamming. We are on segment 6, and it is all about feelings and emotions. This is our emotional intelligence, our guidance system to our intuition. Oh, goody. If you have your journal handy, go grab it and grab your snorkel. We're diving in. We begin this week of our self-discovery journey by exploring emotional intelligence. Being able to accurately and honestly identify our emotions helps us come back into the present moment by grounding ourselves in our body, by assessing our needs, by managing reactions, all of this with self-awareness and engaging in more thoughtful, conscious, responsive decision-making. This is emotional intelligence. So the words feelings and emotions often get used interchangeably, but they are very two different yet connected phenomena. So let's explore the difference. Emotions are like the raw data, a reaction to the present reality, which generally manifests as a physical body sensation, such as like a change in breathing, or like butterflies in your stomach, ooh, or sweating, or any of those kind of like physical manifestations. Once the body speaks, we make a value judgment based on these sensations. A value judgment is a rapid interpretation of the experience followed by our response, like hide, or step forward, or yell, or run, or laugh, or any of those kind of responses based on our experience. And these responses can be valuable information for our self-discovery once a pattern is observed. Feelings manifest first as a thought, sometimes a thought about the emotion we're experiencing, and then they are an emotional manifestation of conditioning, perceptions, and beliefs. They may be influenced by emotion, but our feelings can be distorted or diluted by our own stories, our own filters that we've created in our head based on events of the past or fears of the future, things that are not necessarily true in the situation. So with practice, we can ask, is this true? Have I correctly identified this feeling place or the emotion connected to it? And as we look carefully at how the feeling place is serving us, we often feel it and what experiences trigger it. Listening to our body, informed by our sense perceptions, helps us connect to the reality of our present experiences rather than the stories made up by the potential inaccurate perceptions. By becoming adept at honestly identifying our emotions and employing both curiosity and a lack of judgment, simply observing, we can become much more emotionally intelligent. So we are exploring all of this, all of our feelings and emotions, and how to observe them with curiosity to deepen our discovery of self. So beautiful. That's what's going on in this segment. And we're going to use our inspirations that are our pause, our sacred pause, our intention and affirmation. We're going to look through and feel with the lens of beauty. Then we're going to do our open-ended sentence completion journal prompts. We're going to reflect on those, and then we're going to create. And that's the process of each segment within this journey. So let us dive into our feelings and emotions, starting with a pause. It's been found that individuals that have experienced trauma may have learned to numb their emotions. So learning to pause can be instrumental in reopening that channel, in correctly identifying our emotions, and coming to an understanding of who we really are. Opening that channel can also be scary when those emotions are felt again. So if we are compassionate and accept these emotions as the clues, as the doors to discovering our authentic selves, we can open space for love, gratitude, and a full life. So let's practice with an emotional body scan. Wherever you are, just finding a quiet, safe space to take 3 long, slow breaths, releasing any air that you have now. Deep breath in, relaxing it out. Another deep breath in, relax it out. And then one more really deep breath, perhaps holding at the top, and relax. Now thinking of an emotion you have recently felt until you can feel it. Slowly doing a body scan, beginning at your head, feeling into your face, your neck, your shoulders, your chest, your arms, continuing to feel into the emotion that comes to mind, maybe noticing where it is showing up in your body, continuing to scan into your belly, your back, your butt, your thighs, your knees, your lower legs, and your feet, and your pinky toes. Now feeling the whole body, connecting with that emotion. Where is this emotion showing up? Where might this be stored in your body? These areas are our messengers. Feel free to place your hands on that area and focus on connecting to it using your breath, breathing into that space. Once it has softened, ask your body what it is trying to tell you. Sitting in this silence, breathing into this area, staying open to information. Can you name the emotion that is connected to this area? What is the emotion you originally thought it was? Thank you for joining me in that short body scan. Yeah, the body keeps the score. If we're not able to process emotions and feelings in the moment, they get stored. And that's why practices like these are very common in a lot of cultures, where we connect to our body and we listen. Though due to our environment and other cultures, over time we are taught to look outside of ourselves for answers. And that is when the disconnect begins to happen and has not served us well. So it's time that we begin to trust ourselves again. Doing simple practices like this body scan, it can just take 5 minutes. Heck, it can take 10 seconds. as long as you want, really. But doing it consistently, maybe try committing to doing a simple body scan, connecting to your feelings and emotions every day until you're able to tune in times of heightened emotion, especially. And what we learn proves to be so useful on our journey of self-discovery. So let's move into our intentional affirmation that we're going to speak into our reality. Feel free to repeat after me. I speak to my body as if I were speaking to someone I love. I listen when it speaks back. Moving into our beautification exercise, we're going to turn the beauty inward because we are no exception. We are so uniquely beautiful. And when we are open and receptive to all facets of our being, we can really deepen the beauty and the wonderful benefits that come with that. The healing, the joy, the freedom. So this week, let's find the beauty in all facets of our being as we connect with our child, our teenager, our warrior, even our victim, perhaps the teacher within us, the student. There are so many facets that make up you. So now is a good time to identify them and honor them with gratitude by acknowledging their beauty. This includes the facets of your being that you do not always want to embrace. All the facets of your being have been instrumental in your life in some important way. They all have been brilliant in their own time and space. Though some might feel uncomfortable, they really are looking out for your best interests. They are all beautiful in their own way. Okay, moving into our journal prompt, the meat and potatoes for this journey. This is where you finish the sentence. So before we dive in, I just want to mention that we may feel like there is nothing we can do about negative feelings. Maybe we've spent years hiding them or burying them or hoping that they don't exist. But we can use these for great information. They are when we let them have a voice and experience them. We don't have to live there indefinitely, but these feelings and emotions that are within us hold the keys to the doorways of our self-discovery. So as you finish these sentences, be as honest and non-judgmental as you can, and move as quickly as you can. If you get stuck, just feel free to invent something. It's quite amazing what our subconscious will invent, what might seem ridiculous. When we reflect on it afterwards, there can be some beautiful insight there. So don't get too heady with these. Just notice what surfaces first and let that flow. If you're driving or something and can't write these down, feel free to journal internally, just in your mind, and see how these sentences are completed. And if you do have your journal in hand, feel free to hit pause at the end of each of these sentence completions to give yourself adequate time to write them out. Okay, let's begin. I can remember feeling hurt when sometimes today I feel hurt when sometimes when I am hurt, sometimes I try to hide my hurt by one of the ways I disguise my hurt is by if I were to fully embrace my hurt. If I were willing to be more honest about my feelings of hurt, sometimes the frightening thing about admitting my hurt is I am becoming aware Okay, thank you so much for joining me on the journal prompts. You noticed that we explored the emotional feeling of hurt, and you can replace hurt, this so-called negative feeling, and use the fragments, the journal prompt fragments, and replace the word hurt with any feelings that you're curious about, any ones that are real and alive within you. Maybe it's boredom or pessimism or frustration or impatience or overwhelm, doubt, jealousy, guilt, unworthiness, grief, powerlessness. It's like endless. And just notice as you play with what emotions seem to be reoccurring. Just notice throughout the day, throughout the week, maybe when you're stressed, when you feel pressurized, what kind of so-called negative feelings show up for you? And can you get curious about them a little more? What are they trying to show you? So let's do a little bit of reflection. Hopefully we have a lot to reflect on as our subconscious speaks more clearly. Many of these so-called negative emotions have been deemed as a weakness or inappropriate or bad by people in our past or culture or societal influencers, which I wonder why they, it's like, oh, maybe you need to dive in, fella. So if we've heard often enough that we must mask or hide these emotions, it's no wonder that they end up buried deep within us. But I'm here to tell you, you have full permission. And not only permission, you are encouraged to let all parts of you be seen. We have traveled such a great distance down our road of self-discovery, so it's worth taking a bit of time to reflect and integrate, perhaps sitting quietly with a journal in hand, bringing yourself into the present, reviewing our journal prompts, resting, meditating on what has been revealed. Again, with no judgment, just acceptance and allowance as we begin to understand and integrate. And of course, documenting anything that we want and that we've observed. So, man, I'm so curious what you've discovered about yourself as we've explored emotions and feelings this week. You can join us over at intentioninspired.com. We have our community platform where we share our comments, our musings, our thoughts, our inspirations, our struggles. That was not drugs, that was strugs. And our drugs, whatever drug gets you going, we want to know. So feel free to join us over there. It's totally free. We'd love to have you join us. Our creative exercise for this segment is to choose restful colors and just let your mind and body create. You can see what others have been creating during this segment and other segments over at Intention Inspired. And would love to have you over there and join the flow. Our next segment 7 of 8, is going to be all about expressing ourselves, right? So we've been through a journey as we create a space that is conducive to our self-discovery, that allows us to gain the awareness, to notice what perceptions are creating our life, reflecting on our past, what has made us the way we are, by connecting with the child within and other parts of us that want to be heard, by tuning into our feelings and emotions, our guidance systems. And now we are going to begin exploring expressing ourselves in our next segment. So I still look forward to that. I'll see you next week. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your life. I'll see you soon. Peace and love.